Hello MYP Maths students, wherever you may be in the world. I wanted to give you a really short, simple video which shows you basically, what do you have to do each day as you try to move forward with your maths. Now, I've got the M1 class summary doc in front of me, but a lot of the MYP Maths docs look similar, they just have different content. So everything you see here, you should be able to apply to M2, M3, M4. You would just have to change the content or the M1 to an M4. So at the top we have our little contents page, and then essentially we have the times of the week and our online meeting agenda. Now I will also put the recordings of these meetings as they go on the bottom here. The M1 one this week unfortunately didn't record for some reason, so our first meeting doesn't have a recording, but in the other grades there will be a recording linked here. So how do you actually do your work every day? Well, one of the things that I've said in this table is that you need to have a Google Doc that acts as your workbook. Now, you still may be using a physical workbook at home to do the work, but inevitably you will end up taking a picture or taking evidence from that physical workbook and putting that in your own Google Doc. So I just want to show you quickly how you can do that. Go to your Google Drive, you click New, click Doc, and I might type something like M1 Maths Digital Workbook. And I want to suggest the easiest way of simply doing your work each day may be just to take one of the rows and then pop it into your M1 Maths Digital Workbook. And then what I can do is the first one is a video I watch, and click on the link and watch it, and then I might make some points, and then I click on this, which is an exercise. I may do this in my physical book, or I may do it digitally, doesn't really matter. And then I'll put that, if I do it physically, I would take a screenshot, pop it into this table. I can also adjust this table if I want some more space. So maybe I want a bit more space for the middle. So that's easy. And then I can even look at the answers and mark my work. And that's one day. Now, this day covered the topic Intro to Algebra. But I might then come back the next day, and then I might be, okay, well, I have to do this work. So I copy and paste, I leave a gap, and there we go. Now, if there are things in this block that you don't need, then you can just delete them because this is your own copy. But it gives you a nice structure of what you're trying to do. So my hope is that that makes it quite easy, but if it doesn't, please let me know and we can adapt. Now, the one thing that, if you go back to the main organizing doc, this is still the days we had at the end of last quarter. I said that you had to take the link to your personal Google Doc and put it into this Google form. So I want to just go through that now. So if I have my digital workbook, now just because it's here doesn't mean that Mr. Skidder can see it. So what I want to do now is I want to say share. And I think for most of you, the easiest way to do this is just going to be to say get shareable link and then change it to anyone with a link can edit. Now, normally that would be not the best idea because anyone in the world could edit it, but the reality is nobody's really going to be able to see what your address is. And so to ensure that me and you have flexibility, it's probably easy to just do that. If you don't want to make it editable by anyone, you could just put my email address at the bottom and share it. Okay, but basically I'm just taking this link, I'm copying it, and now I'm going to go to the Google form, and I'm going to say, now you would put your name, I'm just going to put Mr. S, I'm going to say I'm in M1, and I'm going to paste the document and then submit. And what that means is that as a teacher, I can now come along and I can get a link to your Google Doc, and then I can come along and make comments. So I might say things like, let's let's have a look. M. Have you understood what variables are? And maybe I'll have a conversation with one of the students. So this is the process we're going towards. And at least for this week, I would say that just working through this table, some of you may be a bit behind, you may have to catch up, but basically getting this set up right, and then we said yesterday the work was just to get the Google Doc set up and done, but today I'll put some more additional work in there, but I really want you to get comfortable basically making a digital workbook, and then I want to be able to comment by the end of today. I want to be able to comment on everybody's work in the digital workbooks, however much you've done, so that we can then move forward going forward. All right, I hope that was helpful. The video is just over 6 minutes, and I'm hoping that gets you going for the day in maths. All right, cheerio.